Hey, am I? Yeah, I think I'm still live. Okay, I think my camera looks a lot better now, but I do need to make some changes. Okay. I think that's good. Then shrink and flip. How do I flip? Transform, flip, there. There is a lot of empty space. I think I'll crop this some more. This is my left side? No, that's my right side. Okay, reduce the top. Okay. Okay, everything is done. Are you still watching Morton Z? And then my lights go out. Okay. Okay. All I see is an empty terminal in Google Chrome on the side. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to see. I didn't start doing anything yet. Let's start now. I was fixing my stream. Okay. Now what I need to do is I'm having trouble with tailwindcss. So right now the way my build system works is I'm running the dev server. The dev server runs npm run dev inside a container, and npm run dev is actually concurrently npm dev 11t and npm tailwind. So I'm using concurrently to run two separate processes. So there's one process for 11t, which is what's serving my website locally, and another process for Tailwind, which is taking care of all the conversions. But the problem is Tailwind CSS is a bit slow, and Whatever changes I make in 11t are served immediately, but Tailwind doesn't catch up. It takes some time before Tailwind makes all the necessary conversions, and that's not served in time. So just to demonstrate, I'm going to start the server as it is, and everything is running. So now this is a resume liquid. So if I were to add the class text sky, no, let's do line 500. Oh, all right. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they like it. Oh, that's interesting. Seems like I fixed it. So I added style.css as a watch target, and ever since it seems like it's all working fine. Because before this, whenever I made the changes, the Tailwind was not reloading in time. It was taking too long for Tailwind to show the changes. But apparently that's fixed because I added that. I'm just waiting for the dogs to stop barking. Okay, they seem to be done. Was it too loud when the dogs were barking? Okay, you're not watching anymore, I can say that. But am I satisfied with this? Because there are other problems with Tailwind. Done in 11 milliseconds, 12 milliseconds, maybe it's not so bad. But Tailwind does crash occasionally. I guess I should see if it continues to crash, then I might have to make some more changes. There was one more thing I wanted to check. npx tailwind css help. Use polling instead of file system watchers, input output post css minify path to custom config file, disable auto prefixer, help content poll. Okay, there's nothing else that I need to change then. Okay, so if this is working, then I just move on. There is one more thing. Oops. Disable JavaScript. Okay, this I need to fix. So now that I've used CSS, it is clearly audible, but I can still hear you over it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the way my website works is if you have JavaScript enabled, I'm just going to enable it again. So if you access root and you have JavaScript enabled, it automatically changes based on your language. So this is EN, and if my browser were running in French, it would go here. But what happens if the client doesn't have JavaScript? It gives them a very boring page like this. So it tells them to choose a language, which is fine. It actually looks pretty good if you have a wider screen. It does not look good at all. I need to change some things. So if it's really wide, it says all this, but if it's not, if it's very small, it's too small. I should have thought of a better way to do this. Okay, for now, index. For now, I'm just gonna center this. I don't think I'll really need this at any point. So if there's no script, we will have this with mx auto, or should I put it? Okay, if I want to center it on the whole page, what can I do? I'd have to put it, I also have to increase the height. Height full my, no, not height full. My auto wouldn't work, central line wouldn't work. I'd have to turn this into a grid. Item center mx auto would stop working too, and I instead have to do height full. I could keep mx auto. Yeah, height full didn't work, probably because this is taking the height of no script. Okay, how big is body? Body isn't very big either. That's not ideal. What if I set this to height screen? Still not centered. How big is this div? Div. Why are there two items? There should be only one. Okay, maybe if I set it here, class is equal to grid. Can no script? I don't think no script has display. I think no script just goes into contents. What is the default display attribute for no script? There isn't one. No script is transparent. So what other options do I have if I'm not setting to grid? Oh wait, you know what? I'll keep it as instead of items, and I'm going to set it to rows 1. Will that work? I also need height screen. No, it's still, I think it's still creating 2 rows. Yeah, there are 2 rows. I don't want 2 rows, so I'm going to have to wrap this into another one. Last which how many elements do I have here? There's only one element, so why is it splitting div dt? There's an empty paragraph. Why is there an empty paragraph? Okay. So if I just not that. There you go. So now I have only one element. No empty paragraph, so this is centered properly. Choose a language. English, Français. Wonderful. Maybe I could make this a bit wider, or I could make the text small. I'll just make the text small. Okay, so choose a language is here, so I'm going to set this summary font size. Wait, how do you control font size and tailwind? Font size, I think it's text, okay, I don't know. Text small. Hasn't applied yet. Text small. Font size. Okay, see, now it's not refreshing. Text SM. It's not applying here. Let me check. There's a good chance. Now it's fun. Now it finishes rebuilding after a whole minute. Yeah, that's a whole second. So that's what I'm concerned about, because it's always getting stuck. Okay, choose a language is still pretty vague, but we're gonna leave it for now. Okay, so okay, so the smaller screens, I'm going to center this. Where is it? I just do it here. Current flag, current name, yeah. Text center. But this is a span. Span wouldn't probably not show anything. Text align. Why is it not refreshing? Okay, I changed the wrong part. Text align, center, text center. Yeah, text center doesn't do anything, but MX Auto might. Nope. Okay, then I have no choice but to do it in its parent here. So text center, and for the larger screens it's going to be text. I think there's inherit. Text, font, text align. Text start, text end. That's where I have to set a text start. inside text after now. Should I also set text left just in case? Okay, the thing is, this is not actually dependent on screen size. So the way I've created this right now, depending on the size of the screen, this becomes smaller and bigger. But that's not at all how I want it to be. I really want it to depend on its parent, size of its parent element, not on the size of the screen. So I should probably change that. How can I change it? Or can I just put it off for later? Okay, I think I'll put it off for later. Okay, so for now we have this. How much did I change an index? Okay. Oh, I have the keys set up. Okay, so now I can start working on this. Okay, what do I have so far? So I was actually thinking of having a header, but that would not be part of resume. But now maybe it has to be part of resume after all. Header, this is where you would Okay, we will not keep this open. Why is it still open? This one's not supposed to be open. Open is equal to false. I see. Okay. Switcher. So default has to be an empty string. No, that would not work either. Okay. Wait. MDN open property value true. The false value means it not set. We can only that doesn't make sense to me. The boolean value represents the state of the open HTML attribute. Okay, the value of no. I need to look at the actual element. This is in JavaScript, not in HTML. Okay, so in HTML, and for this number to read, I make the transition between open and closed. List item to list open. That is the part of the details are visible. You have to remove it entirely to make it hidden. Okay, so that means the only way I can do this is to use if. If open and if there should be a better way to write this in liquid. If unless else if case open. Where is it? This is the only way to write this. Yeah. Okay. So if I want to change to French, if I want to change to English, if I want to change to French, if I want to change to English, that is the lang switcher. Let me save that because it's probably a bunch of unnecessary space being added without this. No? Okay, then I will just leave it. Stage commit fix open close lang switcher. Okay, so now I want this to be on the right end. How do I set the header? I don't even know what else I want on the header. I was thinking maybe I'll have a print button. So button, call it print. Another button called save. Actually, I wanted to set the title for this. Let me check the accessibility tree. accessibility feed, move to the top right corner of the round tree. Oh, there it is. Okay. So if we start, there's already one ignored, it's ignored. Okay, root, empty banner, because I didn't set the heading. So header requires a heading. No, that's not the problem. Banner is still empty. Why is banner empty? Would title work? Oh, okay. So I don't need this here. Yeah. Banner Kevin Samuel. Yeah, I just keep it as it is. Or should I? I'll think about that later. There's a button for print, there's a button for save, there is a group. I would prefer if I didn't have to put this in div. Is there any other way I can do this? I'd have to pass the width and breadth into lang switcher and then have it show up. But for now, disclosure triangle is just saying en. So what I would want to do is set a title in summary, choose language. What happens? Group. Title doesn't work. What if I set the title here? There it is. The group got the name choose language. That's interesting. In this disclosure triangle, en. You click on this. Okay, this is not very accessible because I'm only getting static text. And even though this is Dogs are having a party. Oh, it's okay. It's here again. Okay, I thought this would be pretty accessible, but it's not. So I have buttons, then I have choose language. Then what happens? Okay, even though this is expanded, why is it not coming to this? Oh no, the whole element is ignored. Why is it ignored? And there's navigation, list item, group, disclosure, starter text. Okay. Okay, it's not ignored. Okay, I should probably use modals. I thought summary would be useful, but summary and details isn't working. But popover is not stable. Can I use popover? Popover and dismiss when the user taps out of the popover area. Popover. How many people? About 89% of people who will be using popover. But the rest do not have it. Okay, maybe I'll revisit this some other time. Okay, for now, what I need to do is nothing here. Okay, so I'm going to set this to a flex. Is this not set to width full? Why is it crushed together like that? Okay. Space between, not that one. It's this one, align content. Content around, content between. I think it's justify items. Yep. That's what justify item, justify content. Justify between. Okay. That's not actually what I want out. I'm going to justify end and gap. I don't know if gap works universally. I think a lot of flex gap. 95% supported. Okay, I'll take it. Widely available across major. It's baseline, I think I'll take it. Okay, print, save, and switch language. Now, the problem is that this does not look good. There's absolutely no padding. Should I set padding? Should I set further? Base. So I'm going to set up padding directly in the body. Class is equal to padding before, which might be too much. Or should I? Is that fine? Okay. So small. Let's keep it padding 2 for the sake of smaller devices, and from medium-sized devices on, it's going to be padding 4. Okay. This is not a medium-sized device. Okay, padding 4. Okay. Oh, there's another problem. I actually need to I need data, a new file, messages dot YAML. Print in English is print. In French it is imprimer. Download is download. En français it is télécharger. What other words am I probably gonna have? Choose lang. In anglais it's choose language. In French it will be choisir la langue. What's a site that might have French? France 24. .fr. Okay, refuser aspect. Okay, well, how are they doing this? They have a button. When I click on the button, I get all of these. Right. Okay, there it is. Ouvrir le menu. That does not say much at all. Ok, j'ouvre le menu et après, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Ici, single column, column. Ah, mais ça n'est pas grand-chose. Ben, qu'est-ce qui m'arrive dans accessibilité tri? C'est au contenu principal, navigation. It just says ouvrir le menu, does not really talk about languages. So button ouvrir le menu, static text, réglage, static text, fr. So what happens if I'm here? Also nothing about language. So something else that would have language changes. Remember language, there's Deutsch and there's Nihongo. Why isn't there anything else? Let me try changing it here. Up. Mais ce n'est pas en français. J'ai besoin d'un bagage en français. Ok, disons que je change ceci à FR. Non. Ok. Il n'y a rien en français. Paradoxe. Ok, oui, ça marche. Ok, donc, qu'est-ce qui est dit pour ce bouton? Button apparaît dans la langue français. Language switcher menu. Accessibility tree says breadcrumbs. And then there's a list. List item français, button français. Right click on the button, set. J'ai été traduit. C'est pas ça. Ok. Inline text list français. No. I'm not sure how people usually say change the language in French. Is it choisir la langue or changer la langue? Well, I don't know. I don't really want to choisir la langue. Okay. Now coming back to resume. Okay. Oh, what happened now? Did I not pull it download? I did. Oh, download. Why is it empty? Oh. Ok. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a d'autre? Ok. Now commit this. It's the body. Okay. So what I want to do now is add main. This is not what is not a constant. Yeah, I need that main article because I'm also planning to have something else on the side. Article header. There'll be head. Oops. Okay. Delete, paste, close heading. This talk is so loud today. Okay, so now I have an article. So now my page has a header, then it also has an article. Did I leave something open? Button, messages line. I kept that. Lovely dogs. Get it off, stop shouting. Stop shouting. There's something I set up. Okay, LSP, which is probably why I'm not able to see the messages, but I don't remember what it was. There's nothing here. Min head screen applies the same CS property. Okay, so is there any way for you to set it? Because not all devices support DVH. Or do they now? DVH. Static CSS 93%. What about SVH? I have actually used dynamic viewport sizes, but I had trouble with them. Something or the other was not working. I think I'll just set to screen. Actually, this shouldn't be a problem, right? Well, okay. I can see that nothing's happening, which is already concerning. Oh no, it's fine. So body is filling everything up. So the problem is actually that I didn't set up a grid. So body is going to be a grid with grid rows 1FR, 8FR, 1FR. That may not be enough. I'm gonna make it 0.5FR. Okay. I think this is fine. Okay, print styles, report orientation. Oh, that's interesting. First contract proposed rate, print styles. Oh, this supports modifier style things based on. Okay, then I could just use that. So supports display flex. So I would use, wait, I can't use supports with declaration syntax, selector, font tech, font format, not operator, and operator, operator. Testing for the support of a CSS property. Supports property. Unit. don't know if I can use CSS supports function to check if DBH and SVH are supported. Besides, right now I don't know what is being applied. I feel like styles, it's using DBH, which is good. It's not a problem at all. I think I would prefer using SVH. Okay, this is too big, so I'm going to make it smaller. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. So that's what happened here. Okay, maybe I don't want these to be relative base, because right now headers becoming too big. If I maybe make the screen taller. So instead, what I'm gonna do is 5x auto and 3x. X is that? Oh, sorry. Yeah. 5x should be enough, right? So that means I could have up to 5 characters. I think that looks good. So now, even if this becomes bigger or smaller, those don't change. So yeah, I like that. Okay. So let me write this and commit this first. Stage. Oh, everything is staged. Basic and layout. Okay. Well, this is just the header, so I could probably put this in a separate file. Should I put it in a separate file? Should I just leave it in base, maybe? Okay. Stuff to think about later. Okay, so there's going to be a header, and there'll be one section for to the left and another section to the right, and both of these are important. So it's not going to be equal in size. Should I increase the number of columns, or should I set this manually? Let's set this manually. So 1FR and 3FR. Okay, now I cannot actually see any of this. So what I was planning to do, this is an interesting part. Okay. So I go into 11T, and what I'm going to do is, when it's a development environment, we're going to add borders. So okay, let's also go into style. Oh wait, I'm not pre-processing anything here, so that might be difficult to do. How else can I do it? I could set it up in base. So if not, okay, unless production will have link rel is equal to style sheet href dev.css and unless. Okay, so now I need to create a file called dev.css, and we're going to create something every time this grid, all of its children, all children of a grid will have border black 1 pixel, border 1 pixel, solid black. You make sure, okay, dev.css is in, but 11T will not be copying it. 11T config, I will copy it. Okay, so that's where if npm script runtime configuration description script and okay, CWD, node modules, node workspace support, filtering, configuration. That's weird. there is a way to check what npm script is running. Okay, node process. Okay, I don't think it's a part of node since it's npm. I don't remember how I did this. Process does not have script. Scripts property current version. PM explore pre-procking. PM run compress like equals scripts prepare pre-publish environment. Okay, there it is. npm package prefix process npm lifecycle event. That's the variable I want. So objects are flattened. So if you had scripts installed, you would see this in there. Okay, that is interesting, but I think I'll just do npm lifecycle event. If process dot, wait, this is an environment variable, right? Environment variable. Process dot env dot, or let's do npm lifecycle event is equal to dev. I do multiple things, so 11t config dot add global data. What did I set there? Unless production. Production with the value false, and we're also going to copy 11t config dot I think it's called add pass-through copy. 11t config copy files, add pass-through copy, and there's also one more thing, a file alongside a template. Got it. Okay. So yeah, this is what I was having trouble with. Reached heap allocation, JavaScript out of memory. There's some problems with tailwind where it keeps running out of memory. So it really ran out of memory. I was using 11 gigabytes of memory. Why is it not copying that.css? Did I misunderstand the environment variable? Which recycles or could happen in single part? Objects are flattened in this format. Process dot and okay, I'm gonna have to check what the output is here. That's weird. Oh, there it is. It's npx. Okay. Okay, so this is not working because I'm doing it through. Okay. Because I'm using concurrently, the npm lifecycle event is a bit confused. This no real event because concurrently is the one that's calling it. So I'm just gonna call this production. If process dot env node env is not equal to production, and okay. Production false is going to be process dot env. Well, if it is production, so that's something we have to think about. Maybe we wanted to set it to some point. It's going to be process.env is equal to production. Okay, I'm going to have to just do else it's equal to production. We're going to do true. Otherwise, we're going to do false, and then we're going to copy that.css. Okay. Now we have copied it, and all grids get lines around them. Stage, what about this one? There's something off about this because this is not how I wanted to show up. I don't even see what I want to see. So there's grid and this. Where are the columns? Okay. First things first. Resume. I'm gonna have to set this to height full. Ah, there it is. Except why is the header so tall? Okay, this is more or less what I want, but why is header so tall? I'm just gonna set this to max height content. Is that valid? Max height. Well, it's not. It's max height max, not content. Okay. But for some reason, these two are still at the bottom. Oh, that's another thing. Can't have this going to the full width. So for small devices, I'm just going to leave it at full. But for medium, width will be 1 byte. And for large, it'll be what's a third? 1 by 3 maybe. And the normal would be 11 by 12. Okay, 1 by 3 is too small. Okay, I can't set it for just main. You set for the entire body. Okay, 1 by 2 is too small. What else can I do? Maybe I could do 5 by 6. 5 by 6 is going to be pretty big. 3 by 4. Or do I do 3 by 6? 3 by 6 is 1 by 2. 4 by 6. 4 by 6 is 2 by 3. So I don't want half. 66% sounds not bad. What I had set it to was 1 by 3, could be 2 by 3. Okay, it cannot be 1 by 2, 1 by 2 is small. 1 by, should I say 3 by 4? I think empty can be 3 by 4. Yeah, 1 by 2 is too small. 3 by 4. Okay, so on a tablet it's going to be something like that. And on a laptop, no, that's too big. 1 by 2 it is. Or 1 by 3, 1 by 2. still kind of big, but I leave it for now. I don't want to work with absolute units, it's always confusing. Okay, header is okay. So why are the sections so far away? Did I set a gap? Okay, so items center. No. Okay, so how does this work? So there's two axes. Aligning items in a flex container. I'm just going to change that to grid. Basic concepts of flexbox. Grid, relationship of grid layout, aligning items in grid layout. Okay, when you're working with the grid layout, you have two axes. There's the block axis and the inline axis. Block, inline, okay. If you have the paragraph saying you are displayed as block axis inline. Okay. So align items is for block axis and justify is for the inline axis. Inline axis is fine, it's only a line that's giving me trouble. What is the current alignment for this grid? So right now it's align items normal, align items center, start, end, stretch, baseline. Okay, I can't do it like that. I'm changing everything. Align items center. No. Start. No, also no. Line items baseline. No. Normal is fine, but that's not what I want. I think it's mostly because my sections are empty, so maybe if I fill this up. No, it's still empty. Okay, maybe it's because the grid rules are going automatic and so if I just set it to grid rows min or max. Oh, it's nothing like that. Grid auto rows. Okay, it's grid auto rows min. Okay. Auto rows min. There you go. Okay, but I don't want it to. Should I use a flex box instead? I think I might need a flex box because how it's mad at this. Also, grid rows subgrid. I don't know what that is. The detail of the row tracks defined by the items parent. No. What's the difference between align items and align content? Planning the grid tracks on the blocks. Grid tracks using an area that is smaller than a grid container. You can align the grid tracks themselves using a container. Okay, not sure I understand this, not sure I'm awake enough to understand this. I might end the stream here for today. Well, bye-bye.